This is a state that in the next 4 years will become a majority minority state where African Americans, for the first time since Reconstruction, will be the majority of the minority in the country. It's worth, the sort of half celebration of that is exactly right. Because we're also a state where maternal mortality is #1, and black women are 3 times more likely to die than the most vulnerable white woman in the state. Where infant mortality, we are #6 in the nation. It is black babies that are dying most often. That when we talk about guns being the #1 killer of our children, 77% of them are young black boys. We've got to understand that, yes, we are raising our bar and rising in our numbers, but our power has not followed. And it is in elections that we seize our power. It is in elections that we decide if we are going to build our house on a solid foundation or on quavering sand. It is in this election cycle that we will decide who we are and whose we are. At a time when our coffers are overflowing, I know in churches this doesn't happen very often. Again, daughter of 2 pastors. It's an unusual circumstances to have more than you need in the physical realm. But right now, the state of Georgia is sitting on a $6.6 billion surplus. But we don't believe it because it's never happened, and thus we don't believe that we deserve for decisions to be made for us, that we can expand Medicaid in the state of Georgia. We can pay our teachers $50,000 a year in starting salary. We can invest in our teachers and our young people. We can tackle the affordable housing crisis that is filling our streets instead of filling our homes. We can solve those problems in the state of Georgia, but we've got to decide if we're going to build our house on a solid foundation that says that grace belongs to us all, or if we're going to build it on the shaky sand of miserliness and cronyism. Who are we going to be? Are we going to follow, or are we going to lead? Are we going to fight our way through the cacophony of sound to make our voices heard? Or are we going to let ourselves be drowned out by our own indifference and by our own convincing that we're not worthy of something more?